Okay, Grace, this is it. 3 times the charm. So it's been a bit of another unbelievable couple of weeks. But that aside, we did go see the doctor 2 days ago, right?
Yes, we have a good time.
Yeah, she was. Your blood pressure, I think, was 119 over 78 or seven, something like that. Like really, couldn't be better, Grace. Couldn't be better.
Thanks to you.
Well, thanks to everybody. And she told us that whatever we're doing is working, keep doing it.
Actually, we try. Simple.
Right? That's what we're doing. And people can find our free overview, which is pretty good. It's only 9 pages long, at theevolutionofmedicine.com, and it's free. It's a flip book, I think, but not even your email. Anyway, go have a read. It's pretty interesting. It's good for just living your best life, really, no matter what. And so we got good news, but um,
What are they?
it's still unbelievable, really, Grace. Well, the good news is everything's working. You're so healthy. It's fantastic, right? Even through all of this. But the bad news is we're still trying to get money from TD Bank. That's your money that we willingly let the government control because we want to get help to pay for your stuff because we couldn't get your money out of TD. And now it's 20 it's two it's almost 3 weeks later, and I need to pay a lawyer a $2,000 retainer. Like, it was supposed to be last Monday, now it's this Monday, right? Because I need him to sign affidavits. I have all the evidence in town, but you can't take evidence to court anymore. It's got to be all signed affidavit, all some one-liners. You don't actually take. There's no time for evidence in court anymore, so everything's an affidavit. So I need to get a lawyer to do that. How can I get a lawyer to do that if they won't give me any money for my helping you in the past three, or if I can't go to work, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, this has been bothering you the last few days too, I think, right?
Because it is not simple for an old lady to understand all the procedures, all the requirements. Maybe ordinary people may be able to follow, but I have to openly admit that I'm an old lady. I'm not used to this kind of procedures anymore. I need your guidance. A lot of guidance, and also going around to meet the requirements requested by the government for this procedure.
Just to get access to your money, Grace.
Thank you.
You have lots of money to pay for the rest of your life, but for some reason TD Bank still don't let you have your money, right?
That was why I couldn't explain to share with.
Yeah, I know,
others.
Grace. God bless you, Grace. God bless you. So that means you're not getting your massage therapy. You're diabetic. Your feet are tingling now for the last couple of weeks. You have to rub them on the board thing and everything, right? Because you're getting cramps in your legs a little bit sometimes, even today. And there was no problem with your insulin or any dosage or nothing. And you haven't had a haircut in 2 months. You like your haircut a little bit shorter than that. It doesn't grow too fast, but me too, 2 months. You're not taking your supplements. The supplements that I give you, anyway, they run out again today. The ones that I get from the States. I have the other one that I use, but that's not the one I give you. It's just the list goes on and on and on. We're not getting out to have any fun. That's what I wanted to talk about. This is the biggest thing right now. Is we have no activities, right?
Well, I cope. Everything is upside down. Fortunately, I have you very helping me very closely to manage my mind from mixing up with all the things I am required to do.
God bless you, Grace. So that's what I'm saying. And you nailed it. See how brilliant this lady is? Because that's exactly where I was going to go. Because normally, every day we go somewhere, right, Grace? Before?
Yes, we
Right.
have activities.
We have activities. We get in the truck, we drive, we go to the beach, we go to the park. We're outdoors all summer. When winter comes around, we're going to the hockey rink probably 3 times a week at night to watch hockey games. We actually volunteered at a soccer tournament. We were trying to get just before everything fell apart. We were trying to get a little bit involved in that, and so when we're doing that, we get to talk about the planning and the decision making, right?
Make our life more interesting and active.
Interesting and active. And we're out in a boat with people and kids and that. We could even go to the mall. Like my phone doesn't work properly. I can't even go to the Fairview Mall to the Apple store and get my phone fixed. I guess I can phone them. Maybe that's what I should do. Forgot about that. They'll do it over the phone, I think. But even the conversation. So we don't get to have the conversation and think about what we want to do and where we want to go and what we want to see. We don't get to go get in the truck and get ready and go there, right? That whole experience takes several hours out of our day and gets us moving around and socializing and challenging our mind to think about what we want to do. And then we talk about it. We talk about what we did and everything afterwards and the next day and that. So our conversation revolves around our daily activities, and it revolves around our food but a lot around our daily activities. And these days, Grace wants to make a lot of movies, and because I'm busy writing emails and that and trying to get some assistance here, I don't really have the time, and we're involved in all this crap, court case and everything. But so Grace is almost like she's so patient. She's so patient. She's allowing me the time to do, even though I'm not doing as good as I could be doing right now either, because I'm focused more almost every day on how to feed Grace. Almost every day. Shouldn't be like that. I should be able to focus on the work, right? And we should be going out, Grace. I 100% agree. Right? Sometimes
the weather is beautiful.
Well, it's cold outside. We can't go outside right now. We were walking outside, but right now it's too cold, Grace, I think. But we're probably going to try to go on the treadmill this afternoon, I think.
All right, I follow your planning then.
Good.
This is what you planned.
As long as that's acceptable to you, Grace, I would like to do that.
Thank you.
Okay. You're doing great on it. You were on it twice last week.
Well, no other choice if I want to improve.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. She's not only a client, she's a coach. Aren't you, Grace?
Well, helping each other.
Yeah. So if I could just quickly revisit, none of this obviously we talked about beforehand or anything. But if I could revisit, I mentioned about us losing out on our activities.
Try hard.
Grace's response right away was how I help her with her mind so she doesn't mix things up. Because we all know that when you have financial issues, it's the number one things that make people argue. We all know that this is too like, God bless Grace, man. You're wonderful, Grace. You're truly wonderful, and you've prepared your whole life for this, and you have every right to do what you're doing. You're changing healthcare, I believe.
One of my goals.
Yes. Did you remember telling me that in the beginning, right?
Yes.
What did you want to change?
What do I want to change? change.
What did you want to change? Yeah.
Well, don't make me go through this memory cycle again. zl3se. I want to improve the way I dress, the way I eat my food style, and like and dislike, how I live, and then how I go about traveling.
Those are basically the 4 reasons why you chose
five
me to be
factors.
power of attorney for personal care last year or the year before, whenever it was.
Yes.
That's right, Grace. And you know them now, even if you don't get them out quite clearly. But and nobody should be asking you any questions without having that list in front of you,
Yeah.
so that you're aware whenever decision you make, is this still going to be and all that, right? That should be, for anybody who's making those decisions, that piece of paper should be in front of them. But so actually, you said that, like, you tried home care before I met you, right?
Oh yes. But my 4 basic requirements, up to now I haven't been able to change it. How I wear and dress up myself.
Mm-hmm.
6, what I eat, what food I eat, 5 basic meals
Mm-hmm.
to support my living.
Mm-hmm.
How I live, the style, the people, companion I like to live with, in what format. Like,
Basically, what you're
yes.
trying to say, Grace, is
the basic requirement.
what you eat, right? So
Yes.
you get to decide if you're in a group situation,
Yes.
then you have to eat what everybody else eats. If you are on your own,
Yeah.
you can have what you want to eat and what's healthy for you, and when,
My lifestyle.
most importantly, when it's healthy for
Yes.
you, right?
Yes.
Because we eat depending on your glucose levels, and we exercise depending on your glucose levels determine a lot. We can sort of know where they're going to be in advance most of the time, because that's how we plan the meals and the insulin and the activities and everything, right? So also, by losing out on our activities, it affects the metabolism as well, right? It's very, very not good. But so you're saying that home care couldn't offer you that?
No.
What you eat, what
Yes.
you wear, and
Yes.
obviously you love your clothes, right? That's your big joy.
And how I live.
And where you live.
Yes.
And where you go.
Yes.
Right?
This is the very basic in my house, in my rule, the rule I was brought up.
And then on top of all that is when. So when you eat.
Yes.
So you don't have to, if you're up late at night, sometimes you stay up late, right? And if you're up late at night, then you don't have to wake up at 7 o'clock and have breakfast. You can have your insulin and a half a banana maybe while you're still in bed and go back to sleep, maybe even a candy, right? And go back to sleep for a few more hours and that's much, much healthier for you. So, wow, we're sort of all over the map. I didn't know we were going to do that. But this is the way it is right now. And so because we don't have all the activities and we don't have as much to talk about, all we really have to talk about is the case right now, right? That's the problem. And that's what we're trying really hard to avoid, right? So you know what we can do?
Yes.
Okay, here's my, wow.
I'm waiting.
Wow. Okay. I told you before we could do it, and I've been so busy and everything, and I've been ignoring it. But I have several short videos that I want to make with you that are very short,
Okay.
but they're like advertising videos, where we talk about our results with regards to you. And we have maybe some excerpts from the doctor's letters to how great we're doing, right? And that way we can use them to send out as a very short advertisement to people so they can say,
That is
Wha-
exciting to know.
right?
We work so hard, spend so hard, and we have now hearing that. I'm excited that we got the opportunity to share our study, our ideas of how to be better, healthier. Hoping we'll find them very useful, and I'm excited about what you just said, so that we can share with more people and have healthier lives without extra cost or
The-
efforts.
The only well, we don't spend much money on entertainment. We usually go outside or we go to free stuff, right? If we had a little more money, I wouldn't mind going to the ROM. I wouldn't mind going, to see a show once in a while, maybe. I don't know, but I know you like to dress up and stuff, and I know you like to go out. So if we had money, we might do things that weren't free. I'm not sure, but
And I also enjoy, of course, wearing, looking beautiful with the minimum cost.
minimum cost. That's right. Grace owns
It's
all her clothes.
always my goal.
Minimum cost. Grace likes minimum cost. Yes.
I'm able to share. If something
good,
I like,
though.
I change something new, I found out, I will be more than happy to share with people who
Well,
will feel better.
You know what we do? You know what? Your heart's the same as 2015. Your brain is the same as 2018. And this is December of 2024. So 6 years, no aging of the brain, right?
Yes.
No aging of the heart in 9 years or something.
I'm more energy now.
More energy, more active. You never get hurt anymore. When I first met you, you were frail.
Yes.
So we have to give the benefit of the doubt to the people at the hospital too. Because when I first met you, you were frail, Grace. You actually hurt your ankle and had to go to the doctors, and you hurt your shoulder and had to go to the doctor. Now you don't hurt yourself like that. You're tough now. But you really...
My mind is more sensitive, through good nutrition and healthy exercise. Everything add up and help me to be able to take care of myself more carefully and more confidently.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to you.
Okay, you know what, Grace? Thanks to everybody and you. You couldn't have done it without you. You know that the coach doesn't put the puck in the net. The coach doesn't do the job, but they do a different job there. They do the coach job. But
Looks after me in all aspects which affect my health.
yeah, basically what we do. I'm going to talk about two more things very quickly, okay?
Okay.
Basically, what we do is, and listen, I repeat it over and over and over, but you got to understand it. It's not that difficult, and it's maybe your first time hearing it, and whatever it is, it's really every parent, every person, the basics should be taught in school. Just like finance, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle should. And we use the finger dementia method, Grace, to stop dementia, right? I knew it because I'm a coach. So it's diet, exercise, cognitive challenge, socialization, all of which things a coach does, right? You got to talk about there's always cognition. If there's no cognitive challenge between you and the coach,
Open
then,
communication.
Yeah.
It's important for senior
and the
people.
socialization, you got to be able to enjoy your life and everything to be well-rounded, right? Otherwise you can't. And the last one is keep an eye on the heart. That's what the finger dementia out of Finland says. And right now the world spends, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars on studies figuring out how to make it work. It will not work by itself in a nursing home because you can't walk enough to get the mitochondria built, Grace, unfortunately. But it will work in a situation if you go live with a family and you're walking 2 or 3 times a day, right? Or at least minimum once, but twice. But and then there's a Cleveland Clinic method. So those 5 everybody should know, right? Diet, exercise, come on now. Socialization, get out and have some friends and go out and do stuff, right?
That's very important.
Yeah, very important. You get hope molecules when you're out having fun and everything, right? And cognitive challenge. You always got to be challenging yourself to
I love it.
I know you do, Grace. I know you do, Grace. I mean, just like starting any new exercise or diet or anything, you got to keep an eye on your health because you don't want to have a heart attack or something, pushing yourself too hard early on and not knowing your limits and all that. And then the other side of it is depression, which can come from many things, such as not having access to your money for a few years. Grace is so strong, right? So strong. Chronic um, anxiety. Oh, and stress. Oh, these are all three things that could come from not having access to your money for a couple of years.
Of course.
You're so amazing. And you think they don't know that? I guarantee you they know that. So everybody knows that, Grace. The old saying, I'm so poor I can't pay attention right now, right? And then the other one is the sleep. You got to have your 7 or 8 hours sleep at night, right? And that's why it's also imperative that if you stay up late in the morning, you don't have to wake up at 7 o'clock and go and eat. You can sleep a little longer and wake up and eat on your schedule when your glucose is, when your numbers are right and your energy, right? You've had enough hours of sleep.
I cannot disagree with you in anything because they are so organized, given, provided to me on time and at the right time too.
What did I give you for breakfast today?
What will you give me?
What did you have today for breakfast?
Breakfast?
Yeah. First, like most days, because you slept after your needle, I gave you something when you were in bed, right? What did you eat in bed this morning?
Please.
Almost every day. Almost every day, Grace. It's your favorite.
I know.
It's your favorite, Grace.
My egg.
The banana.
Banana, of course.
Half in the bed and when you have your insulin, and then half later when
How
you get up.
ungrateful I am. Sorry.
No, that's
my
okay.
favorite.
And then,
I'm a monk. I have a nickname called Monkey.
And then I gave you something else when you got up. Do you remember? Something cut in half?
The bread.
Oh, you had half a piece of bread. You had half.
Very special.
You had half.
Only for ladies.
But what about I don't know if it's a fruit. I think it's a fruit because it has a seed in it.
Please.
One of your favorites. You had two this morning. You had two this morning. Green one, soft like butter. Avocados.
Avocado, but there's sometimes so fancy. White could be cheese.
Oh, the cheese was on your salad.
Shape and
that was your salad, right?
Different variety.
Tomatoes and broccoli and spinach and some salami or pepperoni. Lots of stuff in the salad, Grace. You're right.
Well, I don't. You make the information about your menu so interesting, and then also who is the recipient of your recipe. I don't want to receive information requests from all the clients requesting for that order.
So Dr. Bears was very, very happy. Oh yeah, the one more thing I wanted to talk about, Grace. So you can see nothing's been planned though, right? Right? It's not, right, Grace? We don't even talk about what we're going to talk about or make an outline or anything, right?
It's about food. Grace loves food.
We will when we do our advertising. I know you love your food, Grace. That's why you get what you deserve and what you can afford and what is healthy for you.
Also, it's the secret of my youth.
But I want to talk about... See, I keep lying down almost because of my back. But I want to talk about sundowning. That's a word that I started to talk to you about like a couple of weeks ago, right? Wow is right, Grace. Just like she connected me talking about no activities to a mind that's not busy enough, right? Not enough going on, so it has too much time. She connected them right together. So also, when I explained to her about sundowning, and realistically, there's not anybody that ever deals with the elderly should learn about sundowning. If you're a banker or a police officer or a crisis worker or an ambulance attendant, whoever you are, you should know about sundowning and you should know about gentle persuasion approach, gentle persuasive approach. Two very, very important things, right, Grace? Because, and you should also know about hearing loss. Those are the three. Because the elderly lady will often, well, I shouldn't say elderly lady, but an elderly person can easily have a hearing issue misconstrued as dementia. And that's so bad.
I think I want to share. I have this challenge. That's why you are so familiar with the consequences and the disadvantages I have. Thank you for helping me. I'm getting better now, much better in this aspect. I now recognize the importance of it, how it affect my life, and also Mark has helped me and taught me how to get better, improve my listening skill, without medication, but with patient training for me. Thank you.
Your listening skill definitely much better. That's for sure. Hopefully, mine are getting better too. Because
yes, I have to be more determined.
I think you're all around. I think we're making each other better for sure. It's not codependent. It's interdependent, Grace. We've been helping each other. But this has been a really, really, really good learning experience. Challenging, but a good learning experience for me, right?
Yes.
So, so I was talking about the hearing can be misconstrued, and also the gentle persuasive approach. A little tiny old lady can easily
get upset.
I am. Yeah, I know you are. So am I. Or be confused if too many people or big people or even just police officers with all their gear, maybe, depending if they're standing up especially, not right, can be very intimidating, and they can become discombobulated, and that can also appear to be dementia even though it's not.
Your ongoing explanation helped me to understand a lot of those challenges. With better understanding, my challenges become minimized.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I believe that's my whole life, trying to understand, extrapolate, and interpolate. So that's amazing. And now the third one, Grace,
yes,
is the sundowning. And this is exactly, you just said when you understand it, you can see the look on her face, you know. Because she said when she understands it, she can deal with it better, right?
Oh, yes.
So,
think about some personal strategy, or combined in condition with what you taught me too. I improve myself.
You do. You take your own steps to improve yourself when you see a chance. You don't need me to tell you how to improve yourself all the time. That's for sure. But so the sundowning, a few times last year, around sundown, when you're taking your evening insulin and having your evening meal, excuse me, you wouldn't take your insulin or you wouldn't eat your meal, and I didn't know how to deal with it, so a couple times I called for help, and that was a big mistake because they took you away every time, right? So
don't do that again, please.
No. Pardon me? Say it loud.
Don't do that again for me.
Yeah, don't worry, Grace. I'm not going to. But that leads me to the next thing I want to say. Right? She's ahead. She's ahead. And we did not plan any of this, but so each time we called, that's what happened. They took her away, right? So I recently learned about, I think it's a revisit, and I think somehow it got lost in the shuffle, but sundowning. So for some reason, when the sun goes down, people can tend to be more upset, and symptoms of dementia can show up at that time. And symptoms of dementia aren't necessarily, you don't have to really worry about it, because 39% of the people can get better and stop it and everything. It's no problem. Just like you're doing, Grace. Exactly like you're doing. Exactly like
We're
you're
a
doing.
human being, so we forget.
Yeah, that's right. We're not
Cannot
infallible.
deny.
No, that's right. We're not perfect. So, now I got to remember what I was talking about again myself. Oh yeah, the sundowning. So I explained to Grace recently because we had the issue again, but it wasn't the evening medication. It's in the afternoon now, right? But afternoon is sundown now. So I put it together and I looked up sundowning because the word came to me. I think I did look it up before. And sure enough, so when I explained to Grace, watch when sundown is coming, because you might get upset, you might get angry, and you're gonna. And so what happened, Grace?
I follow, check when the sundowning time is arriving. I would do the checking more consciously about what are the requirements.
You do. You avoid if you're starting to get angry, and you control your anger, don't you?
Well, you have to be conscious.
Within
Stop
reason.
caution.
Yeah, that's right. But it's not perfect, but you do really, really
Oh,
well,
yes.
Grace. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And
Having a starting, having the ambition to start, to me, I'm already happy to start the project, the programs you mentioned.
the programs.
Yes. Sometimes I have to caution myself. Right?
Oh, yes, Grace. Well, that's the whole thing. We want you to be aware and independent, right? As much as possible. Why not?
Your friendly reminding is very useful for me.
And I had to learn about that stuff, the anger issues, because of my back pain. That's hypertension, same thing basically, right? And that's why I use marijuana. And actually, you know what? To tie it in, a couple days ago, you asked me for a candy around 3:30 or something, and 3:45 maybe, which is almost sundown here. Half an hour, I guess, before maybe. Anyway, I thought you didn't. We didn't have too many candies because we're sort of on a budget. Really, really, like not enough of anything. So I tried to stretch it out, and when I went to give it to you a half hour later, it was already too late. So you knew even before when we were starting and you asked me for the candy. Do you remember that a couple days ago?
Yes.
And I created that situation by not giving it to you, Grace. But you're aware of it. That's the beautiful thing, and you work really hard. And even like we both have an agreement basically. You just said don't call the police, don't call anybody anymore, right? Because they take you away. It don't matter who we call for help, right? So we had to learn to live on our own. We don't call for help anymore, do we?
You call you.
We just don't call for help anymore, but you're welcome to call me anytime. That's for sure, Grace. But that's what happened to us.
Well, calling you, at least I have a better. In addition to getting better, I also have a chance that we can discuss together and create a new strategy.
Sometimes we create new strategies.
Yeah.
That's right, Grace. Your strategizing is second to nobody. You're second to no one when it comes to strategizing. If people only would listen, you were an officer for Consumer and Commercial Affairs. You brought the Libra to the country with your own. I've seen your pedigree, and I don't mean your family line. I mean your accomplishments in your life are amazing. So the fact that you want to, and the fact that you believe you can make it better with home care for people like yourself, and the fact that you didn't just roll over because you've been a fighter your whole life, it's amazing to work with you, Grace. I just hope that,
Hope we can grow, increase our knowledge, skill more and more to as the days go by, and also together with more people.
yes, well, I'm trying to work with the hospital. They're so good to us, Grace. And I'm trying to work with the government because we want to add a new part to home care for people like you. And we want people to buy my book and my course so that they can become better able to help people like you
a new idea come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just as you say about mention about sharing
Mm-hmm.
knowledge and experience.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should set up a club, members club.
Mm-hmm.
Those people with diabetic challenges
Mm-hmm.
have in addition to sessions by the specialists, the food, telling me.
Well, you know what we can
about.
do, Grace? I would love to do that. And we can do it.
Have a club.
We can go on a thing, I think it's called Patreon. Like, I'm so slow and I'm so busy because we can't even get our feet settled down because every day I got to worry about money for groceries for you, basically, right? It's been that way for a couple of years now. It's terrible. And we're still making great progress. Despite all of that, you never buckled, Grace. Good golly, man. Unbelievable. So, now I forget what I was going to say. Anyway, I think it was a really great chat.
Because we had, we know that the number of senior people growing. So the membership, to set up a member, have meeting discussion is never a challenge.
Okay, so now she's stirring up my memories and my everything and all that. So basically, the way the software works on the home care, Grace, you were right from the very beginning. You were right. And we have a letter from home care that says they can't look after you because you have memory problem and insulin issues. That's a deadly combination. Somebody has to be around you all the time. Within 10 minutes, right? Then an alarm on the phone or something, that's the only way it can work. And they need to come by 5 or 6 times a day to give you your insulin, to check your glucose, to feed you your meals, but help you with your bills. So the thing is there are things, there's one half of your life called your BADLs, which are your basic activities of daily living. So if you lose those, you become frail, okay? So there are things like feeding yourself, bathing yourself, walking, dressing yourself, brushing your own teeth, right? Do you do all that stuff yourself?
Yes.
You even go outside for walks by yourself again, right? A little bit, not outside, but downstairs and that. You go to your friends,
yes,
right? A little bit, starting a little bit. So you have no problem with any of that.
No.
And you're having a conversation, you're a normal person and everything, and you enjoy all the beauty in the world and all the beautiful, rich textures of the food and the life and everything, right, obviously.
You describe it well.
Okay. But you do have a problem with your IADLs, not your BADLs. Your BADLs, your basic activities of daily living, you're strong. You're not frail anymore. You were when I met you, but you're strong now. But
and also I dress always. I carry myself, I dress myself well and neat.
Well, you do that too, yes. But you have an issue with that's right, so you can do that too, Grace. And you love it. It's one of your favorite things. When I was trying to get you a hobby, I was too silly because your 2 favorite hobbies are dressing and eating.
Thank you for your good memory.
And going out to spend time with children too. You love going to children's stuff. But you do have issues with your IADLs, which are called your instrumental activities of daily living.
That's true.
So that means like paying your bills, for instance. And realistically, who could expect an 80-year-old lady to pay her own bills in the modern day and age? That's, maybe some can, and that's great. Good for them. I'm really, really happy, and I'd love to be one myself, right? But if you can't, and in your case, Grace, I originally thought I could have you pretty much well in 2 years. Do you recall me saying it would be a 2-year program? I told Dr. Bears. She knew. But I hadn't read it is a 2-year plan. The finger dementia method is a 2-year plan. I didn't know that, right? But in my own mind, I thought that would take about that long. But all this other stress is what held you back. Otherwise, you might even be able to do everything by yourself, okay? Because we did simplify everything. Although, anyway, you might who knows, Grace? Who knows?
I never give up, don't worry.
No, I know. So things like that, or things like actually, most importantly, managing your insulin dosages so you don't go hypoglycemic and die, right?
With your help, I have been well trained.
You're doing much, but I still have to remind you when to take it and everything, right? And that's okay. And actually, some nights, because I'm an early sleeper, some nights I'll forget to give Grace her last pill. Not very often, but once in a while.
Right?
And then Grace will come and say, "Am I supposed to have pills?" And oh yes, Grace, yes you are. So sometimes you do help me out, Grace. That's for sure.
I'm sorry, I don't know whether you're aware of, or if not, I reminded you. I started my challenge of this, my health food eating long, long ago, long before you joined, you take over. I was initially looked up to by Dr. Burr's nurse, and then the system of eating, and then I have already improved a lot when you take over me, better than when I first started.
No, I don't think you improved from that program.
No?
No. Dr. Bears really supported you and
I know
everything, but
started.
I think that program made you unhappy about eating and you didn't want to
Yes,
eat.
it's true. But the thing is, well, you're very right, accurate. At that time, I just hate eating.
Yeah.
Now I love eating. It's a big
Yeah.
improvement. I saw it. I feel it. Except maybe my family find me I'm getting too fat.
No, you're not too fat. Your weight's perfect, Grace. You're
Yeah.
95 pounds.
I love food
I
now.
think your body weight index, body mass index is probably, I think we tried to set it around 17 or something. 18 maybe. When I met you, you were 26.
At that time,
26 was borderline, just a little bit obese, which was the danger zone.
I may use this opportunity to remind our team that my initial challenge.
I don't really, by the way, I have a throw a
I
disclaimer
don't
on
want
here.
to eat food.
We're
So
not
don't
doctors.
go of that.
We're just talking about our own life events and that.
Yes.
So, take everything with a grain of salt, do your own research, talk to your own doctor and everything, right, Grace?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's very important to say that every once in a while so that people know.
Well, there's more complete information then.
So you love eating now. You have a wide variety of food all the time.
Yeah, well, yes. But at one point, there was a point in my life, I forget, that's why I mentioned it. Now, with the help from all of you, I enjoy eating and also healthy. Thanks to all.
More people should live like you, hey, Grace. Some people like you.
Also, for help from all of you.
If somebody like you start to have a little memory problem with diabetes and insulin, the first thing should happen. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about all that right now. I'm glad we made a positive movie. We had a great chat, and
you know why I always laugh whenever people mention about my challenge in my memory. I am an old lady who can become and learn self-study to become an accountant. Is my memory having problem? Surely whatever help I get from you and everybody is useful for me. I learned to be self-study, to be an accountant, professional accountant.
Yeah.
My memory has been well trained and helped by all of you. I cannot cover up all the benefits from all of you.
Well, we tried to keep your glucose numbers low, Grace.
I know.
Below 13 on the Libra, right? We try always to be below there. Basically, we follow the rules, sort of, that you get your food when you're between 6 and 8 mmol, and you max out anywhere around 12 mmol is good, an hour and a half to 2 hours after your meal, right? And as long as we follow that and we tailor your meals and your exercise and your activity, we can adjust your metabolism to be ready for certain times of day and everything.
Thank you for sharing all I went through, the challenges I went through with the help of all of you.
Well, when I met you, your numbers were up in the 20s basically all the time. And I didn't know it, but you were going blind. Your eyes were burning and everything. We were putting.
I almost died.
Well, we stopped you from going blind, and we
I see better now.
yeah, you do.
Mm.
Well, you don't need eyeglasses anymore. You just wear them for reading and for because you're used to them. But you don't need the last year in January they said you don't need eyeglasses for general wear anymore. So that's pretty amazing. We,
I enjoy stretching my eyeballs, really. I purposely, not even not necessary, I stretch it far and I feel comfortable
yeah,
from the stretch. For the eye, the
you can
muscles.
see far away now.
Oh
You see
yeah,
small
I
letters,
can
everything.
enjoy lighting.
Mhm.
Colors.
Mm-hmm.
More.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I
More vibrant, more
usually
beauty.
the true color too. In the old days, I remember a lot of my friends, especially ladies' friends, got mad with me because I always color the the coloring. I always put a wrong color name. So I was so blind in the color in the past.
Oh, really?
Where did you get that?
I never heard that
Oh
before.
yeah.
Wow.
Of course, it's not something to be advertised.
No, we don't try. We try not to advertise our challenges if we can, but we are advertising ours now to help others. So that's okay. So yeah, the sundowning. So Grace became aware of the sundowning, and now even a couple of nights, she's been very angry because of the sundowning, and but she just fumes and holds it inside really, really well, Grace, and understands that not to call anybody for help.
I don't mind to let people know my age. For me to be able to challenge this with all their help. At least I adopted the skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have, Grace. You're amazing.
I'm proud.
Okay, you should be proud, Grace. You worked really hard. You told me you wanted to help home care become a better service for the elderly, and you told me you wanted to help
I
diabetic care
want more
become
people
better.
able to enjoy life even at my old age. I'm very, very old. I don't mind to tell people if you want to. My age.
She's almost 80. You'll be 80 in March,
Yes.
Grace. But yes, 100.
Able to do all this?
Yes, enjoy the life, work hard.
Thank you.
But now it would be nice if we didn't have to worry about the money anymore, and we could just move on with enjoying the life and trying to help people, right?
You created new cheap menu for me. Remember it's so healthy. The vegetable, my constipation because I don't have enough money to buy fruit, which is more expensive. You created a salad for me. Leaves.
No, they're different. They do different jobs. But yes, but you eat fruit every day too, Grace. Today you had a banana. The avocados are fruit. You have strawberries several times a week. Blueberries, there's still some left in the fridge. I make you a bowl of fruit sometimes with strawberries, blueberries, and bananas. Right?
I know it's not the reason.
But recently the salads, because we couldn't
Yes.
have salads we didn't have much money to buy everything, Grace. So we were eating frozen fish and frozen vegetables.
And leaves.
Terrible. We didn't have the leaves then. I was eating the leaves. I eat the spinach leaves, Grace, and I drink protein drink, and I live on toast. That's what I've been doing for several months now, really. Once in a while
When I
I
say
get a burger.
leaves, it's the vegetables leaves.
Spinach leaves, yeah, that's right. That's why I've lost.
Not the tree.
I lost over 30 pounds now.
My English is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean the leaves from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the leaves from the plant, but the vegetable.
That's right. And now you really enjoy the salad. We got some decent salad dressings.
Very good, very effective.
Yeah, very effective, Grace.
Do I use the right English word?
Yeah, it's called roughage. It's called roughage. It's very important to
Very
have.
healthy.
Yeah. And right now, as long as we can afford it, you should have it every day. You have 1 or 2 salads a day usually, right?
I like your
And-
menu
and-
more.
Sometimes I'll make her a sandwich, and like she'll say, "Oh, look, now you put the salad on the sandwich." Right? Because I put the lettuce and the tomato and the cheese and the cucumber.
As long as it works.
Yeah. Why not? It doesn't just have to be a salad. It can go on the bread with the bread too, right? And a bit of meat and stuff. Same stuff, just in a different, not in a plate.
What is
on some bread,
available at
protein
a
bread.
lower cost?
or what's more appropriate? Because the salad alone, or should you have the protein bread too? Because it has 19 grams of carbs.
I highly recommend
7
the
grams of protein.
effectiveness.
Yeah.
The effectiveness.
Yes, Grace. Okay, well, I guess we made a really, really long movie. Is there anything you'd want to say in closing, or anything I forgot that you'd want to add at this point in time?
And effective, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And inexpensive too.
Well, it's not inexpensive.
When depending on the price.
Your
of
groceries,
the,
no, no.
Of course.
We've had people say, because we put out the videos and people have said that your food's expensive on occasion. And they're right. You do eat expensive food. More importantly, you eat a lot of food. You eat a lot of food, don't you, Grace?
But it helped.
Yeah, it's good. No problem.
Your menu is really helped.
You have a high metabolism, Grace. There's no doubt about it. Your hypertension is associated with your metabolism. They hand in hand, right?
You know what? Sometimes I think from my own personal experience, not very high end, but anyway, as a patient, old lady, I find that sometimes when we eat the caps, the medicine more, we need to eat more fruit to help.
When you eat the what, Grace?
Well, because isn't that I have a feeling, maybe I'm not very professional, that when you eat a lot of capsules, of chemical capsules, medical
like
medicines,
pills, yeah,
you will increase the hardship for, what do you call this, constipation.
All can cause constipation.
Yeah.
Plus, you have a letter from 2019 where they did a study, the memory part of the hospital, and they said that you were taking too much medication, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You asked me to help you reduce. So you reduced your medication quite a bit. You got off of two things completely. You don't take metformin anymore, and you don't take the fast-acting insulin anymore. So you've really changed your life.
You're right. So this type of information, this type of situation and consequence can affect also. I like to share this simple knowledge, but for people who take a lot of additional medical pills will have this kind of
going to the washroom.
Yes.
So
I like to share with the people so they won't have to worry. Initially, I worry about cancer or constipation, all this kind of medical challenges, but it's not. As long as it's people aware of the challenges.
And they eat their salads and their vegetables,
and now
right?
I eat in the morning. The morning meal is always salad, even uncooked.
Your
salad.
Brunch salad, that's right.
Fresh.
Uncooked vegetables. Usually there's broccoli and cauliflower and a bit of a sausage and spinach leaves. It does.
Yeah, you share this information with me. I find that useful.
It only took you a couple of days. Because in the beginning you said, yuck, and only 2 days. By the third day, you said, I understand, right? And now you say, it's not my favorite, but I understand, right?
Yeah.
And when you say that to me, I say, Grace, it's easier than exercise. Because at my age, with my back and my shoulders and my body, exercise is brutal, but I still do it, right? Almost every day. So I skip sometimes a few days, which is okay, and I'm too busy, but I do it 4 times a week, 5 times a week, wouldn't you say?
So anyway, I'm happy to share my experience that I learned from Mark, how to solve some of the problem in a very simple way. So I hope we can carry on sharing the information each other over our tape, right?
Yep. Yeah, and they can go to theevolutionofmedicine.com and they can download our synopsis or our overview of what we did.
Good.
And it's amazing, Grace. The book is there too. It's just the rough, it's not a book yet, but the details are there and they're in point form. But you got to pay for that. And then you can download that. But if people paid for that and downloaded that, we wouldn't be worried about money so much, and I might even be able to get a lawyer to sign my affidavit to go to court so we don't lose all these years of helping people to nothing because I can't come up with $2,000.
Okay, thank you for sharing your information and experience.
That would be a bummer. Okay, Grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very
Thank
wonderful
you.
chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.